Hello and welcome to another episode of Mixtape Podcast. I'm Fatma Arif, and today we have a guest who is a friend uh, and who is joining from Canada. And she is an expert on water issues. आज का topic is a bit different from the usual things that we cover, which have mostly been so far storytelling. But given climate change and environmental issues are something that are close to my heart as well, so I decided I'll invite her as well. Hello, Sabah.
Hello, Fatma, and thank you so much for having me on your podcast. Very excited to be here.
So let's just dig in. You are currently working as a consultant with WWF Germany, uh, and your expertise. I didn't go into the details when we'll put this up, so I will add your full bio in the description section. But you have studied the subject. You have worked when you were working in Pakistan. You were part of a team that was working on related to water issues. So let's start. Water issue is not a crisis is not something that is just specific to Pakistan. It's a global issue. So,
Exactly.
to say one key factor is I think 1 in 9 person around the globe is sort of deprived of the right water quality, if that's the right stat I'm using. So just shed some light on it. What has been your in your research, whatever. कि क्या globally water crisis की क्या situation है?
Yeah. You're very right, Fatma. When it comes to water issues, uh, we are more prone to consider it as a national issue, especially living in Pakistan. We think that Pakistan has a huge water issue. But if you look at globally, water issues are prevalent everywhere, they're widespread everywhere. So when it comes to water, what we say is that water is very different to climate change because climate change is a global issue, but water is a very much local issue. So while we say that, maybe we will approach water scarcity by 2050 or something, it's not possible to say that the whole world will be water scarce by 2050 because water is a local issue. So, and even if it's a local, even within the same country, because you have different geographies within the same country and different resources in each part of the country. So even in that context, water is very much a local issue. So if, for example, I take the example of Punjab, so we have a lot of water resources in Punjab, but it's not only the availability of water resources. What also is important is how the water is being managed, what is the population in that. So these are all the factors that impact water and water availability. So when it comes to water, I say that there are two broad categories of water issues. One is water quantity, how much water is available, what are the kind of resources that are available. And the other is water quality issues. So you can have all the water in the world, but if it's of poor quality, and which is the problem in most of the world, then it means that that water cannot be counted as water that's available for the population to use. So water accessibility is another concept which is very important in the water issue because you can be living in a conflict prone zone and there might be water, but because of conflict issues, you cannot have access to water. So, there are different angles to water issues, but the basic idea is how much water is available for use, and that is affected by many factors. That could be climate change, population growth, and the way the water is being managed in the area that you're living. So you are very right in saying that this is the water issues are prevalent all over the world, not only in developing countries. Some parts of US, North America, very developed parts, they are also facing the same issues because of climate change, because of other water management issues.
Yeah, it's very interesting that you pointed out the fact that water is it's a localized issue, but the things that impact it are basically global issues. If
Exactly.
if I'm reading into it right. So, मतलब climate change is a global issue. Climate change की अब वो in November COP26 भी होने वाला है. But there is this thing कि जी developed world के resources consumption control में नहीं आ रही है. Developing countries want to prosper in an economic format and उन पर restrictions आ रही हैं. So वो इस तरह की एक tussle capitalism एक capitalist world में हम रहते हैं और उसको tussle चल रही है. And all these issues mix and combine and have an impact on one of the key resources जो हमारी survival के लिए बहुत important है. So I think this is a very complex and a very interesting aspect of the entire water crisis. So, yeah, we know it's a global issue, and obviously, in this podcast, we are not here to like sort of solve that crisis. But let's talk about Pakistan. And you just highlighted the fact Punjab में, and वैसे पाकिस्तान में भी जो general stats लोग हम कोई reports वगैरह या कोई news headlines बनती हैं, they don't use these provincial dimensions के, as you said, कि localized issue है. जैसे Pakistan is a water scarce country.
Exactly.
और उसमें उसका एक पैरामीटर भी है, एंड आई वुड लाइक यू टू शेयर इट, कि हमारा क्या पर वो जो एक वो मीट हम बैरोमीटर एक मेजर करते हैं जिससे
Cubic meter.
हाईलाइट होता है कि जी व्हाई वी आर अ वाटर स्केर्स कंट्री. जस्ट शेयर दैट फिगर एंड जस्ट elaborate on that कि from what you have worked on and what you have learned over the period कि पाकिस्तान में रीजन वाइज क्या डिवीजन है. बिकॉज इंडस हम देखते हैं तो वो द माइटी इंडस हमने आई थिंक पढ़ा ही था. हमें देखा नहीं है माइटी इंडस, एंड आई डोंट सी आवर नेक्स्ट जनरेशंस गेटिंग उससे भी बुरे हालात उन्हें नजर आएंगे. बट व्हाट्स द डिवीजन इन पाकिस्तान?
I think it's a very interesting question, Fatma, because you know that I've worked for many years in Pakistan before moving to Canada. और उसमें भी I was working in the water department, fresh water department. तो हम लोग वैसे holistically ही हमेशा लेते थे कि पाकिस्तान is a water scarce country, और जो बात की threshold की कि 1000 cubic meter per capita water availability, below that threshold हम कहते हैं कि the country is water scarce. So Pakistan mein, I don't think there has been a recent survey. And there are the different numbers, you know, that are circulating. But the most that I've read is 1090 cubic meter per capita water availability in Pakistan. Okay, we are touching very closely to the water scarcity. Some people say that we have already crossed the threshold, so it's up to the debate. लेकिन that as you pointed out is at the national level. ठीक है, it's not कि जी पंजाब में इतना है, बलोचिस्तान में, which I am sure कि अगर research की जाए तो there will be a vast difference, because Balochistan is not as rich in water resources as Punjab is. And then another factor comes in water allocation, which is usually done by IRSA. So वो भी एक फैक्टर है कि वाटर किस तरह से allocate हुआ है in different provinces, जो कि usually it is based on population. So you are very right. I think this is a whole and this is another debate कि हमारी per capita water availability क्या है. We have this figure जो कि काफी साल पहले compute हुई थी, and we are just going with that. And then there is another statistic जो कि कहते हैं कि by 2030 Pakistan will become a water scarce country, which now is also once again debatable, because what do you mean by water scarce? क्योंकि already बलोचिस्तान में तो बहुत ज़्यादा water availability के issues चल रहे हैं. So I think this is something जो कि I don't feel like I'm an expert to talk about कि किस तरह से regional differences हैं, but I think this is a very important conversation to have कि हम and ये जब मैं अभी यहाँ पे जो अपने इस new role में काम कर रही हूँ as I'm working for WWF Germany, तो यहाँ पे आके I've realized it more कि how much water is a local issue, because we are working in 5 different geographies: Pakistan, India, Turkey, Vietnam, and China. And Pakistan and India, like, they are very close to each other, they're neighbors, and in water issues, they're very similar, but their approaches are different, right? And the way the water resources are being managed is different. So थोड़ा सा एक डिफरेंट स्पिन आ जाता है ऑन वाटर इश्यूज. सो इसी तरह जो बाकी हमारी जोग्राफीज हैं, देयर आर लिटिल फार ऑफ पाकिस्तान, तो उनके थोड़े से डिफरेंट है. बट एक इशू आई वुड से जो कि आई हैव सीन इज कॉमन इन ऑल इज, in addition to water and water quality, is governance issues. सबके governance issues, and that is water management issues. So I think water issue का जो एक crux है, that is how we are managing water. That is the crux of all the water issues.
Yeah, I think with the ongoing pandemic, management, I think overall around the world, management and governance, and I think वो बहुत बड़ा question mark बनता जा रहा है कि people we sent to actually make these decisions, how intelligent are they, और वो बहुत ज़्यादा intelligent, they are not proving themselves with how things are going. But anyways, like staying on topic here, just highlight this for a layman. मतलब as you said, कि वही पानी के resources and water quality का एक aspect of it you highlighted कि maybe you do have water, but उसकी quality इस तरह की नहीं है कि it's not suitable for human consumption. So just explain a bit to a layman what a groundwater इज, और उसके रिसोर्स, वो रिसोर्स क्या है, कैसे रीजनरेट होता है, जनरेट होता है, मतलब अगेन एज इन लेमन टर्म्स. एंड ऑल्सो एक और आई थिंक ये यू ऑल्सो नो कि एक कोई कॉमन चीज है ना कि यार इतना बड़ा समंदर पड़ा हुआ है, फिर पानी क्यों नहीं है हमारे पास. तो वो एक लेमैन का एक जो सवाल है ना. एंड वो आई नो वी हैव हैड दीज डिस्कशंस इन सॉर्ट ऑफ इन अ डिफरेंट लाइफ, जहाँ पे लेमैन क्वेश्चंस आते थे एंड आई यूज्ड टू आस्क, भाई ये लोग ये पूछ रहे हैं, उसका आंसर क्या है. वो इतना बड़ा समंदर है, इसको डीसेलाइनाइजेशन व्हाटएवर द प्रोसेस कर लें, एज इफ इट्स सच एन इजी थिंग. तो जस्ट हाई टच अपॉन दैट कि क्या सिचुएशन है, एंड मे बी our listeners will finally realize कि समंदर है तो हम क्यों नहीं इस्तेमाल कर रहे उसका पानी.
This is very important, Fatma, because I think मैं खुद वाटर सेक्टर में काम करने से पहले यही एक इंसान का जनरल कंसेप्शन है, पानी तो बहुत ज्यादा है, ठीक है. एंड सेकेंडली, चूंकि वाटर अवेलेबिलिटी के अलावा वाटर चूंकि इतना चीप है, सो एनीथिंग दैट इज चीप आप समझते हैं कि यार ये तो फिनिट है, फाइनाइट है, जितना मर्जी यूज करो. सो आई थिंक ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है टू अंडरस्टैंड वेयर वाटर इज कमिंग फ्रॉम, और वाटर की प्राइस क्या है, वैल्यूइंग वाटर. So, and I would like to dig deep into valuing water more a little later. कि water की value सिर्फ price से नहीं होती, उसकी economic value से नहीं होती, but there are other factors that are related to it. But when it comes to sources of water, so हमारे ध्यान में ये आता है कि यार हम पानी यूज कर रहे हैं, probably वो जो इंडस रिवर बह रहा है, रावी बह रहा है, वहां से हम पानी यूज कर रहे हैं. एंड आई थिंक होना ऐसे ही चाहिए था. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज कि हमारे जो रिवर्स है, दे आर सो कंटामिनेटेड बिकॉज एग्रीकल्चरल वेस्ट, इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट, सब कुछ उनमें अनफिल्टर्ड, अनट्रीटेड डाला जा रहा है. सो वो वाला पानी तो इट्स नॉट यूजेबल फॉर, इट्स नॉट फिट फॉर ह्यूमन कंजम्पशन. सो पाकिस्तान में लार्जली जो कि ड्रिंकिंग पर्पसेस के लिए पानी यूज हो रहा है, इट्स कमिंग फ्रॉम ग्राउंड वाटर, जिसकी वजह से ग्राउंड वाटर तेजी से द वाटर टेबल इज ड्रॉइंग डाउन, ठीक है. और फिर वो वाटर स्कैसिटी वहां से भी एलिमेंट आ जाता है. दूसरा ये कि चूंकि वाटर लेवल नीचे जा रहा है, तो वहां पे वाटर पोल्यूशन, वहां पे भी कंटामिनेशन हो रही है. सो हम जो एग्रीकल्चरल रन ऑफ, ये सारी इन सब की लीचिंग हो रही है, और वो मिक्सिंग ऑफ कंटामिनेटेड वाटर विद ग्राउंड वाटर हो रहा है. सो व्हाट आई वुड से कि एग्रीकल्चर पर्पसेस के लिए अभी भी हम वी रिलाई ऑन सरफेस वाटर, राइट, जो कि हमारा इरिगेशन सिस्टम है, सारा वो चलता है सरफेस वाटर पे. बट फॉर कंजम्पशन, फॉर ह्यूमन कंजम्पशन, वी आर यूजिंग ग्राउंड वाटर लेवल. सो दीज आर द सोर्सेज ऑफ वाटर जो कि हमारे बेसिक सोर्सेज हैं. चूंकि हम वी डू हैव, हम कहते हैं ना कि समंदर पूरा भरा हुआ है, तो वही जैसे यू पॉइंटेड आउट कि वी नीड टू desalinate that water, and now it's such an expensive process. और कि अभी हमारे जैसे कंट्री के लिए तो I don't think it's feasible कि हम desalination करें. But what we can do is एक बहुत जो important factor जो अभी हमारे कंट्री में missing, and it's also missing in many other countries, it's treating your wastewater. And Pakistan में भी I think we only have the capacity to treat probably not more than 10% of the wastewater we are producing. So इतना ज़्यादा अभी capacity है to recycle water. अगर हम उसको treat कर लें, we can use it, for different purposes, not for drinking, but there are, variety of other purposes जिसके लिए हम use कर सकते हैं. So this is something lacking, so treating your wastewater and then recycling that water for other purposes.
Let's explore the idea that you just mentioned about the value of water, because for somebody and because the reason I said explain this, because this can sort of become a question mark thing for somebody who doesn't really understand what you mean by value of water, is because already एक बड़ी problematic चीज है where people are saying कि because water is an essential source. जैसे कर हमारे कराची city में it's a huge issue. Access of water, people who can afford it, वो अपनी हर consumption के लिए they are paying for water tankers आते हैं. And हम लोग even यहाँ पे भी in Lahore even a few years ago there was this sort of a crisis situation where it was said कि जी पानी जो है now I read somewhere, I don't know if it's how authentic it is, but किसी expert की apparently, I don't know if it was a tweet or an article, where it said कि जी पंजाब के एरिया में you can drink your tap water. Karachi mein you can't do that. But यहाँ पे कुछ साल पहले sort of it was a scare, so a lot of people in urban areas and specifically people who can afford it, घरों में drinking water जो है वो purchase होता है. It's not tap water यूज नहीं होता. So just if you when you say value of water and somebody says कि ये पानी तो cheap है, there's this वही वाली चीज है कि there's a political connotation कि a lot of people are not getting access to clean water, and if you're saying add value to water, तो लोगों का पहला दिमाग यही जाता है कि you mean price it, and if you're pricing it, so that means a lot of people which is from the lower income segments, उनके लिए it will be another burden on their already stretched resources. So just explain what do you mean by putting value on water, and if you can also touch upon this discrepancy के इसको कैसे क्या how are other countries thinking of managing this?
So when I say valuing water, and when I talk about value of water, so Jab initially you were introducing this episode, so you said most of your episodes are about storytelling, but it's different. But I would say that it's not very different because even in case of water, it's all about storytelling, the way you drive your narrative. अभी जो हमारा नैरेटिव बना हुआ है पानी का, इट्स अबाउट वाटर अवेलेबिलिटी. मेरे घर में पानी आ रहा है, मुझे कोई इशू नहीं है यार, क्या अगर मेरे घर में आ रहा है तो आई डोंट सी वाटर इशू प्रॉब्लम, राइट? बट द थिंग इज द वाटर दैट्स कमिंग इन योर हाउस इज नॉट द ओनली काइंड ऑफ वाटर दैट यू आर यूजिंग. सो स्टोरी टेलिंग और नैरेटिव अराउंड वाटर इज दैट वाटर हैज अ कल्चरल वैल्यू. So when I was talking about River Ravi at some point was used as a recreational spot. People used to go and have picnics at River Ravi. But अब कोई आप सोच भी नहीं सकते, आप उधर जाते ही तो आ जाए तो इतनी स्मेल होती है that you can't even stand. So I would say कि आपने एक अपना cultural spot, इतना historical cultural spot, you have lost it. So और even अगर आप water की history में जाएं, so you'll find that some Greek mythology hai, they have named the rivers after many water deities that they had. Chinese mythology, they always relate their dragon, which is a very sacred symbol for them, with water, right? In Christianity, we see that they baptize their newborns in water just to rid them of the original sin and cleanse them. Ganges in India, it's considered as a resource. If you dip yourself, they say that you can get rid of all your sorrows and all your sins. And in Islam, of course, we perform ablution 5 times a day. So purification comes from water. So if you think of all these cultural aspects, and then our civilization, the first civilization, they sprouted on the banks of rivers, right? And जो modern cities हैं काफी, जैसे London, Paris, Vienna, okay, they were developed around river. So I think itni rich history of water ki, there's so many cultural references to water. बहुत सारी literature में आप देखें, poetry देखें, it's filled with references to water and river. So I think when I say value of water, it's not just the water that we are consuming. It's the water, it's the cultural value of water. In addition to that, I think daily life में हम ये भी भूल जाते हैं कि पानी is not only that we drink. पानी is what we wear. Water goes to to all the textiles or the garments we are wearing. जो हम electronics use कर रहे हैं उसमें भी पानी जा रहा है, ठीक है? So every part of our life, every aspect of our life is touched by water. और अगर हमारे घर में पानी आ रहा था, maybe in a few years जहाँ पे आपकी textile production हो रही है, maybe वहाँ पे पानी ना हो, so that might be impacted. आपके घर में जो खाना आ रहा है, the food supply, that's coming from basically water is a very important raw material. So आपके घर में खाना, the food supply can be impacted अगर the water supply in your country is impacted. So it's very important to analyze all these angles and all these different parts of water history that we are a part of. So that's what I mean when I'm saying value of water. और जब आप लोगों को aware कराते हैं, it's not only the water that's coming to your tap, but also how you are influenced by water in different ways. I think this is what motivates them to think about water. आजकल बड़ी मजे की apps बन गई हैं जिसमें you can track your own water footprint. So I mean, this is something you can explore. So it gives you an idea कि how much water you are using, and then it gives you a big picture कि वाकई में how much water you consume on daily basis. आपको तो लगता होगा यार मैं सिर्फ 3-4 ग्लास पानी पीता हूँ, but the water the food that you're cooking, उसमें भी इतना पानी जा रहा है. So it's I would say that more looking at the big picture. It's more about looking at the big picture.
हमारे यहाँ तो वैसे भी खाना जो है वो अंदाजे की इंग्रेडिएंट्स और सारा कुछ रहता है, तो अंदाजे से ही पानी भी डलता है.
पानी डाल दो, बाद में उड़ा देंगे.
बाद में उड़ा देंगे, evaporate ही होना है ना, उसका क्या है. But before we move on, and you made a very interesting connection to storytelling, and the reason, not वही वाली चीज़ है कि when I started this podcast, so it was this initial few podcasts have been very focused on the storytelling hardcore. इनमें बार-बार term भी storytelling का use होता था, but वही वाली चीज़ है कि on analysis and on retrospect, it was like every aspect of conversation has a storytelling format. Every issue is sort of connected and it's delivered better if it's done in a storytelling format. So I was like, let's sort of expand on that. And before we move on, I would, if any of the listeners are interested, one of the really interesting books that I have read, and I think which delivers this uh, the concept of River Indus as all the religious aspects which were attached to it is, I think, The Empire of the Indus by Alice. I don't know her. I don't know her. I can't remember her surname. But just type The Empire of the Indus, and it is, I think, one of a very interesting book that I think everybody should read. उसमें वो cultural aspect. We had like पाकिस्तान में African descent के लोग हैं, शीदीज जिनको कहते हैं. That was the first time I learned about it. So yeah.
I
Moving
think I
on.
should read this.
Yeah. You'll find it वहाँ पे बड़े आराम से. It's a very interesting book. Again, उसमें some people have some issues, but it's because of the fact that the author is a white, like is a Caucasian person, and आजकल एक conversation है ना where everybody is like that they tell these stories from their lens. But yeah, well, she was the one who sort of climbed the entire Indus, पाकिस्तान से लेके she went till the Indus का जो main source वाला point है. So all the cultures, Pakistan, India, China, सारा जो वो है वो she sort of covered that. So that's a very interesting thing. Moving on, and I think this is something that's connected to what you talked about, the value of water and the fact that we don't really realize that it's not, our water consumption doesn't just mean कि हम पानी कितना पी रहे हैं, but it's sort of everything that we do, from using electricity to everything. So इस तरह का जब जैसे when you mentioned कि if there is a जहाँ से water हमारा food resources हैं अगर उस पे impact आता है and we don't have food, so that will be an additional crisis. And I think this is a conversation that's happening in the circles that are working for environment mitigation के जो है वहाँ पे ये environment climate migration का एक subject है which is touched upon a lot. And भी migration से जो है फिर एक और multiple other issues जो हैं वो आ जाते हैं कि जिन countries में migrate हो रहे हैं वहाँ पे political एक वो resistance है, specifically in these days where everywhere around the world we see this sort of barriers इकट्ठे हो रहे हैं, खड़े हो रहे हैं against एक अजीब सी chaos मची हुई है. So in all these current pressures that we have, and given that we are undergoing a pandemic, which is we at the moment we don't see an end to it, and उस पे अपने impact होंगे long terms वगैरह, उस पे then add the crisis where if environmental issues or specifically water crisis issues force migration, and it's not just inter-country migration, it's like local आपकी migration है from जहाँ अगर rural areas पे जहाँ पे management खराब ज़्यादा होती है, people move to urban areas पे ज़्यादा pressure पड़ेगा, and so the cycle moves on. So just touch upon that from the work, and given that you highlighted that you have worked in are working with some of the other countries as well, is this a conversation that's happening among the experts, and what are they sort of forecasting, and what are the things that they see or are suggesting that people or governments can actually start doing to sort of hamper this chaotic scenario?
I think definitely it's a very important concern. Or as you mentioned that climate change, it's a huge driver. And climate change की जब हम बात करते हैं और उसमें फिर जब हम water की बात करते हैं, so there are two natural disasters to climate change is very closely linked to, and that is floods and drought. सो इनकी वजह से एक डिस्प्लेसमेंट इसलिए हो रही है बिकॉज अगर मैं पाकिस्तान की बात करूं तो पाकिस्तान इज अ प्रीडोमिनेंटली एग्रीकल्चरल कंट्री, सो आवर इकोनॉमी इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन एग्रीकल्चर and agriculture is the largest consumer of water in the world. Well, globally, if you assess, so over 70% of the water is consumed by agriculture sector alone all over the world. So if there is discrepancy in water availability, so what will happen is that the people who rely on agriculture as their livelihood, they will of course they will suffer from unemployment issues, and they'll move to other cities, urban areas, as you mentioned, in search of jobs, and which technically has challenges in itself because they are not skilled in other jobs, but of course they will move and they'll suffer unemployment in that area too, and they will add pressure on urban centers as well because urban centers are already teeming with population. But the other aspect to this conversation is, and the thing that I was just referring to, is floods and drought. So because of climate change, many millions of people will be displaced, and they have already been displaced by floods. So this is an economic issue as well as a migration issue. Because जहाँ पे floods आते हैं, people start moving from that area, of course, because there's devastation. Similarly, drought may people start moving from that area because there's no water availability, and water availability नहीं है तो agriculture और इस तरह की जो livelihoods हैं, उनका तो वो सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता. So the way we talk about dealing with these issues is we talk about improving water efficiency, reducing pressure on the environment, and improving ecosystem resilience. So ecosystem resilience में यही होता है कि जी आपके पास इतनी natural disaster preparedness हो कि floods अगर आए तो इतना ज़्यादा effect ना हो कि आपका पूरा system जो है बैठ जाए. You should have resilience in place. So this is definitely a conversation जो कि we are having. But I think just as I mentioned that water is a very local issue, so I think resilience को concept is also very context specific. So it depends a lot कि आपकी institutional capacity कितनी है, right? आपके legal frameworks कैसे हैं, आपकी जो communities हैं वो कितनी उनमें capacity है to bounce back once natural disaster hits. Lekin I think water is a very important aspect in all these conversations, and the way we use water. And if we can, and as I was referring to water management at the beginning, agar we can have a very sound water management, which is grounded in science and which is grounded in, of course, local issues. I think water management is key to solving these issues, or at least having a more concerned approach towards these issues.
So given all things, and I think the term I'm going to use sort of covers a lot of things that we have already discussed. But just for if you want to share any additional information, yeah, give more details on it. Because now, not very recently, but since a few years, with all the work that activists and organizations have been doing, now climate change and environmental issues have sort of become sort of a layman conversation, थोड़ी थोड़ी बढ़ती जा रही है, which is a good thing. A lot of work went into it, but finally it's here. So for someone if who is like trying to figure it out or looking into कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या इस वाले conversation में what are the experts saying? So when it comes to water management or talking about water crisis, एक term use होती है water stewardship. So what is that for a lay person who is not part of the policy making circles? Just explain what that means and उसकी क्या impact है individually, collectively.
Yeah, thank you for bringing this up, Fatma, because this is what I've been working on. And I'm not an expert at all, but I would say कि थोड़ा सा जो मेरी understanding है water sector में, it's basically from water stewardship perspective. So water stewardship is a relatively new concept. As a concept, though, it has been there all along through centuries. But in a formalized concept, जिसमें हम कहते हैं एक buzzword बन गया है. So it's I would say कि काफी नया है, new concept है. And water stewardship, as its name denotes, it means कि you are a water consumer, it means you are responsible to take care of water. So that if हम लोग ज़्यादातर, because I'm working with WWF, so हम लोग water stewardship just context में use करते हैं. It is that we're working with the private sector, we are working with different companies, with different apparel companies, food and water companies, and what we say is that since you are using water, you're using a community resource, you're taking water from river, right, or you're taking water from groundwater. So you are responsible for for managing water as well. So water stewardship means that the resource that you're taking from is your responsibility. So water stewardship की एक और जो अच्छी बात है, and which actually adds strength to this concept, is because when you're using a resource, you're not the only actor, right, in that resource. There's so many other actors. Maybe the community is also using the same resource. Other companies are also located in the same vicinity, and and there are other stakeholders in that area. So water stewardship and we have this graphical image जिसमें हमने इसको 5 step ladder बनाया हुआ है, जिसमें you start with increasing your own water awareness, and then you start implementing initiatives that help you improve your water efficiency, and then आप जिस तरह ऊपर जाते हैं, so आप your third step is that you start engaging yourself in collective action. So it's not that you're only bringing efficiency within your own system. You work with other actors to make sure that the resource that you're taking from, that you're taking water from, is managed properly. And then the higher you go up the ladder, usme hota that you start influencing policy, you start influencing governance, you start engaging with government, to make sure that the water resources are being managed properly. So we've been working on this concept since quite a few years, I think close to a decade, and we have received a lot of positive results. Because जब हम narrative की बात करते हैं, I think, so जब हमने industry के साथ ये काम करना शुरू किया, तो हमारा narrative भी नहीं था that we need to conserve water because water for natural purposes or for environment, because selling this to the companies don't make sense. They have been destroying all the environmental resources since a very long time. So हमने क्या किया कि we made this business case. So when we go to them, we say that if you save water or you save energy, any resource that you're using, there's a business case to it, because आप जितना कम resource extract करेंगे और उसको जितना ज़्यादा efficiently use करेंगे, तो financially आपको उतना ज़्यादा फायदा होगा. So we call this a business case, and this has a lot of appeal among the companies. And the second thing that we've done is that we have made a list of risks. We call them water risks, and there are 3 kinds of risks. Physical risk, which means water availability kitni hai within that area. Then the other is reputational risk. Reputational risk is that if you are taking water from an area जो कि already water scarce है, so of course you'll suffer reputation risks. Like it happened to Coca-Cola in India. They were taking water from a shared water resource, and the community was also using water from that resource. But because Coca-Cola was taking water, the community started saying that there's no water available for us. So they had to pack up their business from that particular area and move out, because there was a reputation risk to it. And the third one is regulatory risk. So if you are using water and you're not treating water, and if the country that you're operating in, or if the jurisdiction that you're operating in has a lot of strict standards for treating water, so वो आपकी एक regulatory risk बन जाती है. So वो आपको license नहीं देंगे to operate. So these are all different water risks जो कि हमने एक list compile की, and we shared with the businesses. So now all the international businesses, they've responded very well to them, because now they also understand that their business is at stake. अगर दुनिया के सारे basins जो कि already at some level risk पे हैं, some are at risk to flooding, some are at risk to drying up. So they've understood कि अगर यहाँ पे पानी नहीं होगा, so our businesses will be affected. So water stewardship is really helping starting a conversation on how water resources should be conserved. And it doesn't. It's not only limited to water resources. The conversation is now moving further. We are now talking about ecosystems, how to improve resilience of ecosystems, and how to save biodiversity, conservation of biodiversity. So I would say that water was just a starting point, but now it's moving to other discussions. So for a layman, water stewardship is really a concept that if you're using water, you're responsible for conserving it as well. Or you don't do it all alone. सबसे पहले you start with yourself, but then you have to engage with other actors within that shared water resource, or उनके साथ you have to work. So this is the beauty of water stewardship. Many different actors, they come together and then they try to conserve the resource.
Yeah, so like my next like point of discussion was going to be about this building of community into awareness and all that fact, but I think we have covered it इसी में because my वही वाली बात है कि एक general question यही आता है कि for example कि there's this understanding or this perception कि when it comes to water या water के जो बड़े level के decisions या to be able to manage it. I think Cape Town के जब images आने शुरू हुए थे a few years ago where we saw and it was the images sort of reflected what experts were telling us will happen to us if we don't get our act together. And then there was this city in our living time where we saw कि भी वहाँ पे तो पानी नहीं है, वहाँ पे जो images हम अपने माइंड में डेवलप कर रहे थे कि पानी नहीं होगा तो क्या होगा, या वो जो करबला के साथ जो कुछ इमेजेस जो हैं वो लोगों ने एफिलिएट वो किए हुए मतलब एक सिनेरियो जो एक होता है जो एक वो पढ़ा हुआ है हम सब ने, तो इट वाज लाइक यार ये तो अभी होना शुरू हो गया. So people think that those decisions are need to be made at the government level, at the level where people in power are the only ones who can fix it or are continuing to be the problem. But the fact that individuals can, as you said, I think that water stewardship का जो graphical या ladder है, start with yourself, develop a community, and then lead up to a place where you are actually forcing people in power to make the right decisions. I think
exactly.
When it comes to environmental issues, this is, I think, the only way that can be done. And I think that is how I think the youth activism also comes in.
Exactly. I mean, water stewardship largely जो that we are working on, वो तो हम थोड़ा सा we say that corporate perspective से हम कहते हैं. But the same, as you've mentioned, the same can be applied to individuals as well. That first you start with your own self, और फिर अपनी community को involve करें. And once you have a voice, a collective voice, so you can use it to influence at least local government है उसको तो आप influence कर सकते हैं.
Yeah, as you give the example, India वाला जो case है या और भी जो हमें there are organizations where जो आपकी big corporate companies known for जिनकी product manufacturing में water is a key component वहाँ पे they are to उनको task पे जो है वो I think these civil society वाले ही लेके जाते हैं, तो then the case is going to court and then उस तरह the sort of the cycle continues. So yeah, I think like in every other aspect of our lives, I think collective initiative is what we need. And before we wrap up, I know you write as well, and start May you talked about the cultural aspects of water as well. So when you moved to Canada, I read a piece that you wrote, and there's a section that I would want you to sort of share. So can you read it?
Oh, great. Thank you. So before reading it, just a little context. So वो जो article मैंने लिखा था, it was based on British Columbia में जो it's a province in Canada, so there is a Columbia River in it. So Columbia River में काफी ज़्यादा hydropower development हुई है. So Columbia River was prone to flooding. So chunke Columbia River flows from Canada to US. So the two countries got together and उन्होंने कहा कि हमें cooperative agreement sign करते हैं और हम hydropower development करते हैं. So politically it was a huge achievement और financially, economically भी बड़ा फायदा हुआ. But within that stretch, वो जो Columbia River का stretch है, indigenous communities rely on Columbia River a lot. So Columbia River is very rich in salmon and fish. So indigenous cultures, जो वहाँ पे First Nations that live around the area, they used to rely on Columbia River for fish, right? It was a means of livelihood for them. So जब वहाँ पे hydropower development हुई, तो salmon जो उन थी reserves थे, they were affected immensely, right? Or as a result, the livelihood of indigenous cultures was affected. So, in fact, यहाँ पे I'll just like to throw in a bit of cultural perspective as well. That indigenous cultures, बहुत ज़्यादा तो मुझे नहीं पता, but in the process of writing my articles, जितना मुझे understanding हो, यहाँ के जो North America के indigenous cultures हैं, they have a very cordial relationship with nature. So what they believe is that, and I'll quote their words, they say that we take from nature only what we need and not more than that. So बड़ा balanced इनका relationship है and बहुत reverence वाला, ये nature को बहुत respect करते हैं सारी living things को, तो water को भी they have a very spiritual belief around water. And जो मैं salmon की बात कर रही थी उसके बारे में मैंने जब पढ़ा, so they have a very interesting cultural tradition related to salmon. So उनका ख्याल है, according to them, salmon are living people. So जब सीजन आता है सैमन का जिसमें सैमन ब्रीड करती है, सो दे थिंक कि एक किंग एक गॉड है, किंग सैमन, सो वो इन सबको कहता है जस्ट ट्रांसफॉर्म इनटू फिश एंड सर्व ह्यूमंस, और वो फिर अपने आप को ट्रांसफॉर्म करते हैं इनटू फिश फॉर्म और वो जाते हैं और फिर यू नो जो इंडिजिनस कल्चर्स हैं दे harvest it and they use it. So they're very interesting tidbits. So when I started doing this story, तो बड़ी एक sentimental story मुझे लगी because चूंकि बहुत सारी devastation हुई थी because of that, और indigenous cultures बहुत ज़्यादा affect हुए थे. So two poets from Canada, they got together and they traveled the entire stretch of Columbia River from Canada to US. और वो जितनी भी इंडिजिनस कल्चर्स थे के विलेजेस थे वहाँ पे, दे मेट पीपल, जितनी भी कम्युनिटीज थी, आस्किंग दैट हाउ दे वर अफेक्टेड और ये वो, और उन्होंने अ पोएम एज लॉन्ग एज रिवर कंपोज की. सो और वो पूरी जो पोएम है वो ग्राफिकली अराउंड द स्ट्रेचेस ऑफ रिवर जाती है और टेक्स्ट जो है वो अराउंड द स्ट्रेचेस ऑफ द रिवर जाता है. सो it was an amazing thing. वो फिर वो स्टोरी टेलिंग के लिहाज से it has a very beautiful storytelling spin to this. So जब मैंने ये आर्टिकल लिखा, so obviously I was influenced a lot कि कितनी ज़्यादा reverence है, कितनी ज़्यादा respect है for nature. So I wrote this paragraph as an opening paragraph to that article. So I can just quickly read that aloud for you, and of course if the listeners are interested. So here it goes. Rolling from one valley to another, streaming across coarse contours, sometimes surrendering to the whims of winds and pouring rain, other times cutting through the rock-ribbed plains. Rivers have always made the most enchanted neighborhoods. A river's ample bosom has cradled pioneering civilizations and nurtured childhood memories. Its panoramic views have kindled weary eyes and inspired grandiose dreams. And through centuries, its gentle ripples have concocted timeless fables of love and romance. That's it.
Very, I think, again, I think it's a reputation, but I think storytelling is everywhere, and I think it helps spread the message better than any stats or any graphs or any technical jargon can. This was a very interesting conversation, Sabha. Thank you for your time, and I would like to have you back sometime with some other aspect of water discussion, because it is something that I think हम बार बार बात करेंगे तो शायद लोगों को समझ आ जाएगी. So until then, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me here. It was an absolute pleasure. Or before starting it, I was a little conscious that yaar kitni technical discussion hogi, but it turned out to be a very fluid discussion, which I really enjoyed.
we keep things in very layman perspectives because na hum experts hain, and we like people can sort of understand. People are more than welcome to sort of take on and do their own research and figure out all the technical aspects that are involved. Everything's available on Google, but I think conversation starters need to be in a more storytelling tone rather than sort of informational tone. But yeah, so let's give you a homework next time, maybe, because Canada is now going to be your adopted country for the foreseeable future. So maybe next time bring in some. You highlighted the indigenous जो अमेरिका की नॉर्थ अमेरिकन it's a very interesting culture and a culture that's very in tune with nature. And when you were reciting it, तो वो मेरे ज़हन में एक चीज़ आ रही थी कि initially development के नाम पे they were portrayed and it was communicated that they are savages, उनको तो कुछ पता ही नहीं है, but they were living in a much more I think in tune with nature than
Exactly.
any of us are. And now that they are also sort of at their end, they are sort of North Americans are sort of trying to rehabilitate their relationship with the communities, or trying to, or whatever the political mess is. But I think next time maybe we can sort of dig deep into that, and because those are the stories I think that even if it's not a part of our culture, but I think it will be interesting to explore and understand.
Definitely. I think there's a lot to learn from these stories and from these people as well. So, yeah, I like my homework, I think.
Yeah. So next time, this will be an interesting conversation, and the audience can sort of, wait for it. So until then, thank you very much, and see you around.
Thank you.